Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, for the wonderful introduction. Thank you so much, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Good evening to you all. Welcome to this meeting. Today, my job as a general evaluator will be evaluating the whole meeting, and today it's kind of different. We will be having the evaluation for the speeches through a panel discussion. And with me and my team, I'll be having Toastmaster Khalid Hilal for evaluating the content for all the speeches. Toastmaster Wadad Hijazi for evaluating the speech purpose and objectives, whether they met them or not, what could be improved. And our accredited speaker, DTM Muhammad Shukri, he will be evaluating the delivery. And hopefully, you will be having a fruitful meeting and even a better evaluation. Thank you. Yes, I would like to give DTM Ali Shahbaz the mic so that he can explain things better even for panel discussion.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Abdullah. Everybody, if you can have a look at the agenda, you will see there is a panel discussion. There are 3 segments: content, speech purpose, and delivery. Our panel moderator will be Toastmaster Abdullah. All 3 evaluators, who will be Khalid instead of me, Toastmaster Widad, and DTM Muhammad Shukri, will be here. And today we'll have a different style of evaluation. It will be panel evaluation. So evaluators or panelists, for example, Toastmaster Khalid will talk about the content for all the 4 speakers. And same thing applies to Toastmaster Widad and DTM Muhammad Shukri. They will speak on behalf of all the 4 speakers, not just one. So please give your notes later, or for the speakers to take pictures, because we will not have the regular evaluation sheet today. And speakers, please take notes also, just in case, for your improvement. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's a very good question. Because of the time today, the total duration for panel discussion will be only 10 minutes. The whole panel discussion. For all 4 speakers. Is that okay? Let's make it 15 minutes. Fair enough? 15 minutes for the whole panel discussion. Is that okay? 15 minutes? So
4 minutes.
4 and okay, so 15 minutes. Okay, and our panel moderator will have follow-up questions, just if needed. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Ali, and I would like to hand the mic back to the Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abdullah Madan, and thank you so much, DTM Ali, for clarifying about the panel discussion today. Well, I'm super excited to see what exactly is in store for us when it comes to our general evaluator, come panel moderator, Toastmaster Abdullah Madan. Moving ahead, our next role player, she of course was introduced as the president of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. She is a life coach by profession, and like she mentioned, yes, we did work very closely last term on several personal and professional grounds, where we got to know a lot about each other. And that, I believe, is a beautiful way to build on a relationship that we have today. And she is yet another inspiring speaker, I would say. And today, she is your grammarian and please give a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Widad Hijazi. And Toastmaster Widad, please brief us about your role as the grammarian and art counter for today's meeting.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Sarah. Today, I'm a double or triple, or I don't know how many agents I'm in the club today. I'm the counter and grammarian at the same time. The counter, I will count the and pauses in your speeches. Watch out, I'm a good listener. As a Toastmaster, as a coach, I train myself to be a good listener. As a grammarian, I will be watching your words, phrases, things you say in a proper way, mistakes in grammar, and lots of details. The word of the day is ignite. And ignite as a verb, cause to start burning, subject to fire, or great heat. Like great heat can ignite almost any dry matter. Or as a verb also, it can start to burn or burst into flames. Marsh gases ignited suddenly, or arouse or excite feelings and passions. It can be also ignite. It also can mean arouse or excite feelings and passions. Okay, that's it. Provide the needed stimulus for synonyms also. Call forth emotions and feelings. It's the word ignite is the word of the day. I invite each and everyone to use it, and let's ignite the night together tonight. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Widad Hijazi. And yes, I really hope that each one of us are well in turn to use the word of the day properly and appropriately. And we can make our grammarian at least happy. Moving on to a final role player for tonight. Someone who is very much needed in a Toastmasters meeting, just so that things are professional and well within the time. Unfortunately, with the very big event that we have today, we might not be on time. But that's completely fine. Bat always tries to make it up by the end of the meeting. Trust me, you'll see it. Our timer for today is none other than a person who I feel is supremely practical, has a great sense of humor, and somewhat a father figure to me. May I please invite, with a huge round of applause, Toastmaster Farooq Kadir as our timer for today's meeting. Toastmaster Farooq, please brief the audience about the timing criteria.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. Am I audible? Just want to check that.
Yes, you are.
Yes, thank you. Timer of the day, I will be timing both the speeches and the evaluations. I will also keep time of the whole meeting, how it goes. For the speakers today, for the 4 speakers today, I'll be showing the green card at 5 minutes of your speech, and the yellow card at 6 minutes of your speech, and the red card at 7 minutes. All of you have 30 seconds grace period to wrap up your speech. For the panel evaluation, we have approximately 4 minutes for each of the panelists. So I'll be showing the green card for the panel speakers. For each of them, at 3 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. And at 3.5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card, both physically and online. And at the 4 minutes, I'll be showing the red card for all the speakers. So let's hope that everybody is on time and we don't ignite tempers by being delayed. Thank you. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Farooq. Well, we will try to ensure that we do not ignite rage or any sort of tempers. Definitely, we'll keep that in check. Now we proceed to our first segment for tonight, which is the prepared speeches. So when I talked about global voices, stories that connect us, today you will hear 4 different stories that you will be connected with through such amazing speakers, let me tell you. And they have a lot, and I believe you should be ready to hear a lot. Master Slum. He's, of course, as introduced as the Vice President membership today. But before we hear him speak, I think we should hear what is the objectives of his project. So for that, may I call upon DTM Ali to please brief us about the objectives of our speaker's project.
Yes, Toastmaster of the day, DTM Sara. For our first speaker, the project objectives are: the purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to build a cohesive team and host an event. And he'll be giving 2 speeches. For the evaluation sheet, it's for the member to introduce the team building event he plans to host. We wish the member all the best. He'll be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes today. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, DTM Ali, for briefing us about the objectives of the speaker's project. Before I begin, can I inform the IT head sitting over there, DTM Pitambaran, the stage cameras way off. So till that time that's happening, let me introduce the speaker for the audience sitting in person and online. Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi, where leaders are made. Where leaders are made, Toastmaster Abdullah Hijazi.
Yes, I am audible.
Yes, you are, Toastmaster Abdullah.
Take your time, no problem.
We've lost both the sound and the picture, by the way. We cannot see or hear any. Now, yes.
Stop. Can I ask everyone to stand up? With a Superman poster. I'm a very excellent leader. Loudly. Very excellent leader. You can see. In the beginning, I didn't believe so.
see, building a team and being a leader, it's far away from my thinking or dreams. In university, usually I go to projects, and project we have teams. We have to do a team building. Because I work too much, they put all the pressure on me. So I am very not a good leader. That's what I believe in the beginning. Until last year. When the last time you do something for the first time? I decided to change this dilemma. It was summer, and they in our company announced the YLP, Youth Leadership Program, and they were searching for to coordinate the event and build a team for this event. I remember that the president, Toastmaster Fatma Hussein, that time, contacted me and told me, why you don't do it? I just waited, and I was shocked in a way, but in Toastmaster we learned that leaders are made. So I started, why not? Just do it. We started to do emails to all the members in the club and ask for volunteers to volunteer in this event. A lot of team members applied to this and loved to work with us. Selecting from these people, very marvelous people, very active people, was a very hard thing to do. Then what? And we discovered that 80 of the YLP children, the employee children, applied in this program. So the number of the participants was huge. So at the beginning, I called for a first meeting. This first meeting, I set the objectives, what we can do for them, and how to conduct YLP, who will be doing the step-by-step speeches like objective speech, evaluation speech, how to introduce it to the young leaders. Started to move forward. What I discovered throughout this experience, that people just reach out and ask, and people will help you. I remember that some of the assigned members dropped because of various reasons to do this speeches, but I found more other members are willing to do it on the spot. This is the spirit of Toastmasters. This is the spirit of team building. It was a very good team that I will never forget. It was an experience that showed me that everyone have to have an ability and to ignite and to be a leader. Don't stop yourself with your negative thoughts. Say yes whenever you can, because saying yes and with saying yes, it will enlighten you with more skills, and you will discover for yourself more. So I encourage you. Really, I believe that Toastmasters were leaders and me. Make use of this program and don't stop yourself with your negative thoughts. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abdullah, for doing such an amazing job and hearing this speech, because at BAT, we are a club of leaders. This definitely resonates with each one of us, what you said today. Moving ahead to our next prepared speech. Our next speaker is the ever-smiling member of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. But before I call upon her, I would love to know what is the project objectives for our speaker. May I please invite DTM Ali to brief us about her project objectives.
Yes, hello again, Toastmaster of the Day and members. Our next speaker is delivering her level 1 project from the part called Team Collaboration. The purpose of her project is to present a speech today on any topic that she chooses, receive feedback from the panel, and apply the feedback in her second speech. I wish her all the best. Her time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Before I start my speech, I would like to pick two audience and ask them one question. DTM Sarah, I would like to ask you one question. Who is your role model leader and why? In 2 words. You have role model leader and why? DTM Sarah.
Role model leader? Well, my role model leader and mentor is sitting right over there in the bathroom with the awesome hairstyle, which I think he keeps pulling, probably because of that. There's a different sort of a thing. DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali. Since my journey began in Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club, since day one, he's been there at the beck and call. And I feel there are no words that can justify what is his role in my life, because it goes surpasses him as my mentor and role model. And I think right now would not be the right time to say it. That's it. Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Sarah. So I'll be enough with Sarah, so to control the time. Imagine the difference between a leader who is with eagle eyes, like keenly focused on guiding, unifying their team toward a shared goal, vision, or a leader who is with colorful glasses, lacking the clarity and the vision. Master of ceremony, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. A real team leader who possesses clarity and foresight of an eagle, understanding the team goals, mission, values, and navigating challenges with unwavering confidence. For instance, my manager, like during my residency in KSA, he exemplified this leadership role by his vision. His vision was clear: to cultivate a generation occupied with patient care skills. He instilled trust, he fostered cooperation, and he empowered each member to strive the greatness. I personally had opportunity to observe the interns in the wards, providing feedback to them and facilitating evaluation. He embodied the quality of a servant leader, a concept I've encountered in books. Like, I vividly remember the first time I recognized that, the feeling of deep sense of respect, unlike I had felt before. On one particular day, at the pharmacy, he exemplified this leadership role, this leadership style, by guiding the team on prescription checking, drawing from his extensive experience and knowledge to simplify how they do this process in correct way. He took time to inquire about each member of the team, to understand their aspiration or path they would like to choose, and to empower them to choose this path happily and work happily and excel, offering them a chances to do more and learn more through presentations and courses. Turning from pharmacy to history, friends, in contrast, in history, there is one remarkable bad leader, and everyone knows it, Adolf Hitler. He was one of the worst leaders in 3 destructive ways. He controlled Germany with strict rules and crushing any opposition. And he used lies and propaganda to turn people against each other, spreading hate. And he started war worldwide over the countries and causing a new severing worldwide. His action is a legacy of division and tragedy. Everyone must not forget it. So in summary, effective leaders is like my manager in the pharmacy. He possesses the clarity, foresight, and empower their teams to excel. In contrast, leaders who lack the qualities of vision and clarity and possess division to their team are like the unreal leaders who cause suffering. Let's be like those with eagle eyes, not only to see big picture, but also to inspire their teams to achieve remarkable things together. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leila, for the wonderful speech. Now makes sense. Now I can picture where exactly would, my mentor fall into. I can definitely see it. Thank you so much for that insightful speech. Moving ahead, our next speaker is the person who has been super active on the social media platform. Yay, correct. Who took my position very graciously and has been doing quite passionate work on that. And I actually am really, really proud to see that, honestly.
Thank you.
So before I call her upon, let me call upon DTM Ali to please share her project objectives.
As Toastmaster of the Day and fellow Toastmasters, our next speaker, Toastmaster Malike, is doing her part from leadership development level 1, and it is the same project as before. She's giving her speech. She will receive feedback and apply it later in her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, DTM Ali. Toastmaster Malike Ithani, with her speech titled Zehra, a portrait of legacy. Zehra, a portrait of legacy. Toastmaster Malike Ithani.
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, today I want to tell you the remarkable story of my role model, Zahra. Zahra's journey began long before I was born. Zahra arrived in Jaffa, Palestine, from her homeland, Cyprus, when she was just a little girl, barely 13 years old. She married Abdurrahman and built a life with her family. But in 1948, the occupation forced countless citizens to flee their homes. I think I should move it so that you can see. Excuse me. In 1948, the occupation forced countless citizens to flee their homes, and Abdurrahman told Zahra, "Go, I will follow you." And he never did, and no one ever heard of him again. Zahra gathered her 8 children, one of whom was Malake, my grandmother, and whose name I have inherited, and joined hundreds of other families on this harrowing journey to Beirut. Zahra is my role model for many reasons, but today I'll share just 3. The first reason is her extraordinary patience. Raising 8 children alone in a foreign land is no small feat, yet Zahra did it with grace. Despite living in Beirut for many years, she never fully mastered the Arabic language. For example, she would mix up words, calling a man she and a woman he. When she got angry, her children, grown men with mustaches, would be met with an ignited barrage of reprimands in a language only she could understand. Still, she became known as that Cypriot lady in Beirut, leaving behind a legacy that transcends borders. Zahra's patience and perseverance bore fruit in the form of her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, who were raised with strong ethics and principles. Among them are Hafiz of the Quran, respected merchants, university professors, sheikhs, and ignited world-known artists. But perhaps the greatest testament to her patience was her enduring strength after losing 4 of her children, 2 of whom were taken by the igniting wars in Lebanon. Even in the face of such tragedy, I remember her calm, accepting face, an unwavering believer in fate, Zahra was. The second reason Zahra is my role model is her deep piety. Her faith was evident in both her words and her actions. Even when she was in her 90s, she remained devoted to her religious practices, praying 5 times and more a day, and fasting every Monday and Thursday and every 14th, 15th of the month. Zahra lived a life of quiet devotion, never speaking ill of anyone, and always minding her own business. The third reason Zahra inspires me is her boundless generosity. Zahra was a giver in the truest sense of the word, but her gifts were not ordinary. Every child born into the family received a handmade woolen outfit lovingly knitted by Zahra as soon as she learned of the pregnancy. And that was one example only. Her generosity didn't stop there. She prepared every kind of stored food or mune you can think of, whether it was mlukhiyeh, pickles, za'atar. These were the treasures that you took home after visiting her. Zahra's life was a mosaic of patience, piety, and philanthropy. And though she is no longer with us, her legacy lives on and ignites in the lives she touched, including mine. I am proud to strive to embody the values that she has so effortlessly lived. As I close, I'd like to share a photograph of 5 generations that holds deep meaning for me. This is Zahra, her daughter Malaki, her granddaughter Ghada, her great-granddaughter Malaki, and her great-grandson Walid, who was only 40 days at the time. Today, Walid is 20 years old, and this photo serves as a living testament to the legacy Zahra left behind. Her strength, patience, and love continue to ripple through our family, inspiring us every single day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Malike. That was a very heartfelt speech. I could hear the emotion in your words and in your voice. And definitely, thank you so much for that photograph. It really meant a lot and gave us such an insight.
Thank you.
Wow. Moving to our final speaker for tonight. She is someone that I got in touch with in the year 2022. When I happened to be at Inja's Bahrain Toastmasters Club. And since then, I can recognize her voice, her smile anywhere. She's always smiling and you'll always see the twinkle in her eyes. But before we call upon our final speaker for tonight, let's not forget we need to know the project objectives of our dear speaker. DT Amali, this is your part.
Yes, Madam T. Modi, our final speaker, the fourth speaker for today, is delivering her path from dynamic leadership, and she's currently in level 4. She's going to speak about change management plan. She's going to share some practices from the change management plan. Her time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to our speaker. Over to you. That's the objective.
Thank you so much, DT Mali.
Yeah, T. Modi, there is one clarification needed by one panelist. So the member is supposed to practice developing a change management plan. And today she's going to share some aspects of change management plan. Over to you, T. Modi.
Thank you so much, DT Mali, for the clarification and the project objectives. May I please invite Toastmaster Zainab Hassan to the stage to present her change management. Toastmaster Zainab, stage is all yours.
Once upon a time, there was a silly little mermaid. She was kind, sometimes reckless, and ambitious. All she ever wanted was to be able to walk on land. So every day, she went on a secret meeting with her little fish friends to collect handmade, human-made objects that fell into the ocean by accident. To her, it was treasure. The story goes on, and she fell in love with a human. So now she would do anything just to have 2 feet. So she decided to visit the most dangerous sea creature that has ever existed, a very wicked octopus. This octopus was so evil, she tricked her, stole her voice in exchange for a pair of human feet. This was the silliest decision that she had ever made. It caused her many challenges, but despite all that, she never gave up. She fought back until she defeated this evil witch. And at the end of the story, her father, the king of the ocean, gifted her the ability to be able to walk on land whenever she wanted or go back to the ocean whenever she wanted. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, do you know which movie I'm talking about? Exactly. The Little Mermaid. That's my favorite Disney princess movie ever. In fact, it was always on my bucket list to be a mermaid. What I admire about this mermaid is that she always analyzed her decisions carefully, and she managed the change in her life, no matter how challenging it was, because she believed in what she wanted more than anything. So let me tell you my story. When I graduated from high school in 2018, I was filled with ambition. I wanted to try everything and do everything in life, but I knew I had to decide what I want for my future. That's where I went to my first university, where I studied civil engineering. I stayed there for a while. I worked hard, but then I realized this is absolutely not what I want to study. I had zero interest in civil engineering. So I decided to drop out. And luckily, it was during COVID-19 and I had plenty of time on my hands. During that time, I used it to search up at least 70% of the universities in Bahrain. I read all the curriculums just to understand the difference between each major. And so I did. And after a long search, I decided to enter my current university, where I'm studying information technology, specifically programming. Now, did I analyze my decision choosing civil engineering as a major in the beginning? I did not. I chose blindly, without prior research or reading. But did I manage with that change? I couldn't, because it was not my choice. Do you see how important it is to value and analyze your decisions? And if you find yourself ever stuck, then ask. Moving on to the reason why I chose the title of my speech. You see, I already done this speech before, and when I was asked by the VPE to give the title of my speech, I had no speech or any topic ideas. So I had to come up with the untitled speech. And when it came to actually writing my speech, something unexpected happened. I was stuck. I had no idea what to write about because I had no topic in my head. And so what an amazing title as well. It really helped me, the untitled speech. Now I have no speech and I have no title, literally. So do you think I analyzed my decision doing this in the beginning? No, I thought I did, but I was reckless like the mermaid. And did I manage with that change? I guess I did somehow. but I learned my lesson for next time. Now, sometimes you have to know that you should just roll with the punches. And I know it's not easy, but there are harder situations in life that will pull you down to the ground. And if you don't pick yourself back up, nobody will. And like they always say, if you give up on life, then life will give up on you. So don't give up. Back to you.
Wonderful, Toastmasters Zainab. This is the reason why I did not mention her speech title. I actually wanted to hear from her mouth as to how she can not title her speech. But nevertheless, a very creative way of presenting from our four amazing speakers. Before we proceed ahead, the agenda says break. But do you really want a break? I'm taking an audience consensus today.
The audience says it's okay. We can go forward.
Amazing.
You can hear?
The audience agrees to close this meeting as soon as possible.
I just have a quick announcement, dear Modi. Yeah, how many of you are staying back for the event? 1, 2, 3. Okay, just a quick announcement here, Modi. I'm going to order from Talabat some light dinner. So if you prefer something, let me know in the message. Okay, since we don't have break, we can't discuss. KFC, Karibu, let me know. Coffee and sandwich from Karibu. Is everybody okay with it? Just sandwich? Okay, just message me if you need just sandwich. Chicken, any preference? Karibu has sandwiches, right? I believe yes.
Did you Mali not to rain on your parade? But can you discuss this with?
Okay. Over, Modi, over to you.
So let's not discuss this over here. The general evaluation and the much awaited panel discussion. May I please invite a really, really passionate and stellar performer, Toastmaster Abdullah Madan, as the general evaluator and panel moderator for today's meeting.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Good evening once again. Welcome to the general evaluation session. And to start the general evaluation session, I would like to call the timer to give us the timing for each and every speaker. I believe. Can you please give us the timing?
For all of the 4 minutes.
Yes.
3 minutes, I'll show the green card.
No, I mean for our speakers. Yes.
For the speakers, Toastmaster Abdullah has done up to 5 minutes 58 seconds, and Toastmaster Laila to 7 minutes 15 seconds.
Okay.
And Toastmaster Malaki to 6 minutes and 7 seconds.
Okay.
And Toastmaster Zainab to 5 minutes 30 seconds.
All are qualified. Excellent. And now we will proceed to the innovative idea of DTM Ali, which is instead of having a normal evaluation segment, we will be having an evaluation segment for all the speeches with a panel discussion. So panelists, can you please come forward to the stage? Sure. Sure. All right. Welcome to this panel discussion. In this panel discussion, we will be evaluating each and every speech based on 3 different criteria. Content, which will be done by Toastmaster Khalid Hilal. Speech, purpose, and objectives, which will be done by Toastmaster Wadad Hijazi. And the delivery of each and every speech, which will be done by DTM Ahmed Shikri. So starting with the content, the speech content, Toastmaster Khalid Hilal. Yes, yes, for each and every speech.
So you do for all.
Yeah, all of them.
We will not go speaker by speaker. We'll go
All at once.
all.
I'll be discussing the content, right? Okay, good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters. Abdullah started his speech with telling us how leaders should be. He started his speech with the content of being a leader. He had a cohesive structure of speech as the purpose of his speech or objective is supposed to be. And started off very strongly with a strong statement. I am a good leader, which everyone in the audience had to say it. His speech had a purpose, and that purpose was reaching out for help, for becoming a leader, and for becoming much better in the future. Now, that's what went well. Let's go over some of the areas of improvement. I didn't analyze the content.
Whatever you evaluated.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Abdullah, you had several pauses between each point. I would rather you using more transitions, such as moreover, adding to that, or moving from one point to another. And I wish you used monotone, having a variety of levels of voice would put a lot of emphasis on certain aspects as well. Lastly, I wish you used more facial expressions. For example, when Toastmaster Fatma approached you and said about the YLP program. That's all for Abdullah. I think with bearing in mind all these aspects, you do amazing in your next speech. Now moving to Toastmaster Malika. Her objective was to present and receive feedback. So what went well, she had good hand gestures, pointing at herself to put emphasis on personal aspects. She had good statements. Well, she had good structure within her speech. She explained 3 different phases through Zahra's life. She had, I think, an amazing storytelling aspect. She used a variety of facial expressions and also good voice modulation. And lastly, she showed us the actual Zahra to let us even think about how she suffered and how she is right now. And for each speech, I think there are areas of improvement. And for here, I only have one, which is having a hook. Having a hook is crucial to capture the attention of the audience. With that, I think you would do amazing, Toastmaster Malika. Your speech was on point, and it was very well delivered. And I hope you the best in your next speech. Now, next, we have Toastmaster Leila. which had the same objective, which is to present and receive feedback. And she started her speech as promised, with a hook, which is a question that struck our minds and kept us wondering what will happen next throughout the speech. She shared her personal story in the US. Adding to that, she mentioned some of the examples of becoming leaders. Also, she had a good summary to make the audience remember the message that she said throughout her speech. Now, let's move to the things that need to improve and would develop her speech, which is asking the audience instead of just asking one individual. And I think having a voice modulation would be better because she used the same tone throughout her speech. But all in all, you would do amazing in your speech with having all these aspects into mind. Yeah. And lastly, we have Toastmaster Zainab. Her objective was to manage change plan. I think that the speech went very smooth and very amazing. She had many good aspects of her speech. One was having a fairy tale to let us even wonder and think about how she would capture the attention of us as audience, and she made us even imagine what it would be as a mermaid. And then she had good eye contact. She was skimming the audience, and she utilized the stage very effectively to transition between ideas. That's all for me, and I hope all of the best. Over to you, Madam President.
Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. We have 4 wonderful speakers. I believe they all met the purpose of their and objective of their speeches, starting with Toastmaster Abdullah. He took us in an old trip, youth leadership program that he did, and he told us exactly the steps of becoming a leader, about the event that he's presenting from the moment and the idea. He mentioned that he was selected and he was asked to be a leader. And from the very beginning, I noticed that the speech is over. He achieved his goal just by asking us to say, I am a leader. We can understand that he achieved his purpose. He explained to us what youth leadership is, and this is very clear for us. As for Toastmaster Layla, also she was amazing. She started asking the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sarah, about her role model as a leadership person, as a leader. And then she shifted to talk about leaders in her life. She did well. She gave us clear examples and she explained it. And I liked the way she ended up the speech. Like she put us from the beginning with Toastmaster DT Amsara, and then she shifted to herself. And at the end, she gave us nice phrases about being leaders, about leadership development. And then to Toastmaster Malaki, well, what an amazing trip she gave us about leadership, an example within the family, a good example within the family and even within the society itself. The shift this old lady had from Cyprus to Palestine to Lebanon, and all these efforts in life, and how she got this leadership talents, and I think it's inherited, as she mentioned, and transcended to her from her ancestors. That was amazing. As we have the leadership development within the family, but it's an example of a whole society that shifted from one country all over the world. And it's actually leadership of generation. Very well done, and I like the idea how it's presented. Regarding Toastmaster Zainab Hassan, yes, you took us to our childhood. The Little Mermaid, we can imagine the colors, the beach, swimming, meetings of fish and the mermaid. You met this change management plan. It was really nice. And then you took us to your own. At the beginning, oh my God, am I in Disneyland? And then you took us to your own plan of change, and you did it well. You explained it in details and in clear words. You talk about it. The different stages you showed were amazing. I liked it, and these exactly as you mentioned, as the objective says, change management plan, and you planned well for that change in your life. And I think the answer is that we noticed that today. Thank you very much, and good luck for everyone.
Thank you very much. All right, so for each of the 4 speakers, I have 3 categories. It's the pluses, the minuses, and 1 recommendation, starting with Toastmaster Abdullah. The hand gestures was really good, natural and dynamic. The voice is strong and clear. I haven't missed anything. On to the minuses, mostly looking to the left side of the room. And I missed dialogues and the voice modulation that comes with the dialogue. And this is common for all speakers, by the way. I am big on dialogues, and dialogues can bring a lot of vividness to your speeches. 1 recommendation: can you swap leaning on the stick to the right hand side? Because you hit 2 birds with 1 stone. Your left hand only was moving. Your right hand was leaning on the stick. You're so good with hand gestures, Abdullah. If you switch, you will do 2 things. You will move your right hand also. And I think that is the reason why you lean to the left. Because you are leaning on the stick, you're looking to the left hand. Our body is like this, no? But if you move like this, you will have to look also at us. If you can do it, it will make you a dynamic on stage. All right. Moving to Toastmaster Layla Al-Ali. Excellent use of vocal abilities. That was so clear enunciation, Toastmaster Layla. Even though the screen shows only your head and part of your neck, we didn't miss seeing your hands, which is something I give you points for that. And your facial expressions were positive and friendly all the way. On the minus side, please limit the ahs as they sound very distracting. I have 1 recommendation to you. Try to speak in various speeds across your speech. You sound like reading, which causes a stable and monotonous manner. I know we can use notes, but even if you use notes, don't look like you're reading. Reading always brings monotony to your speech. So play with your voice and run fast and slow from times to times. Do that often. Okay? Toastmaster Malika, what can I say? I like how you don't miss a letter or a word except being clearly enunciated. The facial expressions, you made them project the emotions behind the meanings. Dynamic use of hands all the way. And this is what I meant. Excellent variety in speech rate. The speed, the velocity of your enunciation and wordings is not stable, which is exactly what human beings speak like in normal time. There's 1 minus. I said the facial expressions were very good, project the emotions, except the fact that the constant smile stayed there all the way. I know Zahra is, you're fond of her, you like her biography, and you are delivering all the way with positivity, but sometimes we need to stop that smile, especially when I speak about occupation and Abdurrahman missing forever. So that smile shouldn't stay there on your face, especially at that point. If I have 1 recommendation, is bringing dialogues, especially from Zahra. I mean, Zahra's voice and conversations with you, she said so many things to you. She told so many stories. Why not people take Za'atar with them? Why don't you bring it in a dialogue? Dialogue is very big for all speakers. It brings aliveness, all right? Here, take this bag of Za'atar. It's good for your health. Say it on behalf of Zahra. Don't just narrate. That's my recommendation regarding Toastmaster Malika. And finally, Toastmaster Zainab Hassan, the hands were used in great dynamism and emphasizing the meanings. That's what I liked about the hands. The voice was clear and of high quality. You had a minus, it became a positive later on. The use of pause was very effective. I waited, I wanted to look for pauses, and then you brought them in a beautiful way. But I have to bring a minus, don't I? Right? Okay, so you were good on voice speed, voice clarity, quality, volume, no problem. Pitch is what I'm looking for. Pitch is going like this or going like this. That's pitch. We cannot miss different pitches, especially when we are talking about characters. There were characters. I need to hear different pitches. So there is high and low tone, high and low pitch. For example, you could have said, "What on earth was I thinking? I lost my voice," said the mermaid. Something like this, all right? Because you're telling a story. So we'll be really engrossed in your speech. So again, you and others bring more vividness through dialogues. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you to our panelists, and I have a question for same question for each and every one of you. Usually, the recommendations that were given, for example, I feel that sometimes Toastmasters they take the recommendations too much, that they start exaggerating instead of making them more of natural. For example, if we say vocal variety, sometimes speakers speak like this. It's not natural. When I speak, I feel like I wanna just when someone speaks like this, I just like feel I wanna get up, sometimes leave. Sometimes people exaggerate too much and take the recommendations. I wouldn't say 100%, 1000%. So what is the sweet spot? How can someone take the recommendations to a certain state where they can be natural speakers and not really be robotic, exaggerating, like many Toastmasters, especially those that we see in the humorous speech contest. Yes, Khaled.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abdullah. To answer your question, I believe that practice is key here. Practice makes perfect, as we all know. So by doing this, they would start off their speech, test out how they would do, and then receive the feedback, write it down, and once they go home, once they're out of the meeting, they need to start practicing on the key areas of improvement, as well as the things that went well. They have to bear in mind that there is a set of bar. They don't have to exceed or go below it. So if they start practicing, they would speak more natural, and they would start seeing themselves differently. They would start even performing very well. Especially when it comes to speeches, I think receiving feedback from mentors is very crucial. So the mentors would have more experience in speaking naturally through speeches, through contests. they would give them an enlightening feedback. That's all for me. Over to you.
Well, from my own practice, I like the question because we are speakers as well. We are giving advice, but it's better we give ourselves advice regarding this. It's practice in front of the mirror, videoing and seeing it. And plus what I actually do is I try to implement this in my daily life activity when talking to people whenever it is possible. So whenever I remember, whenever it is possible, I use it in my daily life. Plus with my speech, I go back always to my mentor, Toastmaster Abdullah. We have long speeches after each meeting. Whenever I present, he gives me feedback and keeps reminding me. It's essential to have a mentor in Toastmasters, and I believe a mentor is the one who would better give you the follow-up, because as an evaluator, we give it once here, but we take notes, and the evaluator's role is to follow up with us. That's it from my side.
Thank you very much. So there are so many aspects looking at this. Ralph C. Smedley said, a speech is nothing but an amplified conversation. Whatever you do behind with the audience, you speak in the break. When you come here on the stage, you cannot speak the way you speak there. You must amplify everything. You must double, triple everything. If your voice is like this, it shouldn't be like this when you come to the stage. If your examples are okay, normal, when you come here, you have to double. This is a gym. This is a training hall. This is where we push our limits and put more weights and strengthen our muscles. I know what you're talking about, Abdullah, but from my long experience, you're talking about the exceptions. In fact, majority of people don't push hard. They just come here, speak anything, get the claps, go back. And our atmosphere is very forgiving. We must push. I'd rather people make mistakes in shouting than make mistakes in whispering. I'd rather people make crazy stuff on the stage so that they are called, you are actors. Toastmasters are actors. I like that. Than you coming and doing nothing here. What's the use of your membership? What's the use of the time? What's the use of all this? Let them call us, we are theatrical. Let them call us, we are actors. But we have to go to the mountains if we want to go out and be good communicators. This is our platform to do all the crazy stuff. You go to the gym, see people, what do they do? Ah! Correct? Do you say anything to them? It's part of the fight. Let me take you outside a little bit to a very important study. I'm sorry, I'm going over time. There are three aspects that communication experts say. Three things must be there in anyone to be called a source of credibility. I'm talking outside Toastmaster. Three things must appear in you when you communicate anywhere so that they will say he's a credible communicator. Number one, honesty. He is honest and trustworthy when he brings any information or any facts. Number two, he is an expert in his field. Don't talk about something you are not an expert in. Better sit there and be a listener. Number three, imagine dynamism. If you have any sort of expertise and honesty, but you speak like this, people will perceive you as not expert. You must push. I have Toastmasters I torture outside this club. I torture them. I don't hear you. I don't believe you. I say that to them. So I'd rather, Ya Abdullah, people are pushed and people make a lot of mistakes and we laugh at them, and this is our gym. Over.
You started it. You started it. Thank you so much, everyone. And in fact, DTM Shukri, speaking about this, one tip that I use to become better is actually recording myself. Maybe you'll have the recording here, but usually in normal Toastmaster meetings, there isn't a camera, there isn't a hybrid setup. Yes. And I start recording myself. And I see myself exaggerating. And guess who I send the tapes to? What? My father. My cousin. No, he's a worse critic than Ahmed Shikri. He starts hammering on me. Oh, you're exaggerating. Yo, what is this? And then he gives me a very harsh feedback, and then I become better.
He's another harsh one.
Yes. All right. So with this, we end the panel discussion. Thank you, panelists, for all your feedback. Yes. We'll have. So we proceed to the general evaluation. First of all, thank you everyone for putting all the efforts in setting up this meeting. Even though we started a little bit late, we managed to put everything into place. Our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Sar Ibrahim, did a wonderful job in introducing each and everyone, the role takers, the speakers, the general evaluator. And what I really liked about today's meeting is having a panel discussion. Honestly, this is the first time me seeing an evaluation that is done in this way. I would like to steal this idea, DTM Ali, and implement it in Just Toastmasters Club, of course. I come here, by the way, out of Injaz to steal ideas and bring them back here to make Injaz a better club. Since I'm yes, thank you. All of you are my mentors here. So thank you so much for putting these efforts, these innovative ideas, Mr. VPE. And for any rooms of improvement, I would just recommend that we come maybe 1 hour earlier, since especially that we have an event like this. We should come at least at 7 so that we can, if we are going to face any technical difficulties, we can overcome them and start on time. And for the word of the day, I would maybe recommend that we print the word of the day and put maybe the definition for the word of the day along with the sentence and distribute it around the hall. This would be maybe better so that everyone can get to remember the word of the day and use it. With that, I would like to move to the counter and the grammarian report.
Well, good afternoon again, or good evening again. So the word ignite was used by DTM Farouk once, by DTM Abdullah Hijazi once, by DTM Malaki twice, ignited and igniting, and by the Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Sara, twice. And then we had we have good ones, but Dr. Laila used it twice, DTM Abdullah used it twice. He used so and like this. Toastmaster Zainab so once used, and we have repeated words with DTM in the future, inshallah. Abdullah Hijazi repeated when the. I'm giving both reports together, by the way. There are nice phrases in this evening. Why not just do it? Just reach out and ask. People will help you. Don't stop yourself with those negative words. Effective leaders is like a manager in pharmacy. Let's be, I have to understand. Let's be like those with eagle eyes, raised with strong ethics, calm, accepting face, a life of quiet devotion, boundless generosity. I chose blindly without prior reading. If you find yourself ever stuck, an untitled speech, I thought I did, but I was reckless like the mermaid. Situation in life put you down. That's the phrases were used. That's all my report. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Udad, for giving both reports. And now I would like to hand the mic back to the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Sarabra.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Abdullah Madan, for an amazing evaluation segment. I definitely concur with you when it comes to the panel discussion. I've always felt that, of course, the individual evaluators always have the charm, but panel evaluation definitely has a different charm altogether. So thanks to DTM Ali for bringing this up. And thank you, Abdullah, for justifying the role of the panel moderator. Well, to the IT head, the stage view is not visible. But I believe there is nobody at the stage as of right now. So it's completely fine. So now we have come to the end of our meeting. I apologize again to Toastmaster Zainab. She could not conduct her table topic session. I think we can keep her, her as a table topic master for the next meeting. I believe DTM Ali would definitely ensure that you're the table topics master next time. But we have something bigger to look forward to, I believe. And all of you being there at around 10:31 still, it's amazing. And you'll continue to be there till 1 a.m., inshallah. So the only thing I would love to say before I close my role as the TMOD for today is when you embark on the journey of being a global voice and connecting your story with people around the world, keep in mind that the room that you're sitting in today, every voice has the potential to connect, to inspire, and to make a difference. So whether you're a first timer today or whether you're a seasoned speaker, your story is so much more important for BAT, not just today, but for years to come. And it is part of our collective experience in this journey of Toastmasters. With that, I give the control back to Madam President, Toastmaster Vidal Hijazi.
Also, the day Sarah, for the good job you did. I would like to thank each and every member in that club for this wonderful meeting that we had, despite all the challenges we have, starting late with technology, but everything was solved. That's the journey of Bahrain and Toastmasters Club, like the journey in our life, problem solving techniques. And issue that I thought I never would learn. Then suddenly, when I became a specialist, I had to do some researches. So the first research, why? Now as a coach, I know why, because I'm a Wujdan coach, consciousness coach. I understand that follow your heart, and it's a good leader for you. At that time, I felt I didn't understand. I felt that I need to learn that, and I believe I became somehow a good problem solver. My first research was about problem solving techniques, different techniques. And that's what we have in Toastmasters. Thanks for the general evaluator for the evaluation you did. Thanks for the Tiam Ali. Each and every one, I don't want to miss names. The speakers were amazing. I like them a lot. And what else we can do? That's the life of Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club. For Injaz, we are here to support you. For new members, yes, potential members, we are lucky to have the father and son today. We hope that other parents bring their sons and daughters to us here. And with this, we are 4 minutes ahead of time. I adjourn meeting to 2:57. Adjourned. Thank you very much. I would like to say something since we adjourned the meeting. By the way, what Toastmaster Malaki shared us, this photo, it's an inheritance for the Palestinians. And we have this, our proverb, my grandmother replied to my great grandmother. So we have these 5 generations as parts of our history in Palestine. And you may find this photo in almost every, and thank you very much. I have a similar one for my grandmother. So in every family, almost we have these photos which we keep as inheritance. Thank you for getting back us to Palestine and to all these countries.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Widad. Really appreciate it.
We'll join in the other link for World Championship of Public Speaking.
Bye. Good night, everyone.